and Dan, and myself. We have the city manager here, and also Chaz Ray Harris. So if we'll rise.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Our Heavenly Father, we ask that you be with us and guide us in this meeting. We ask that you lead us to make decisions which are best for our community. We ask that you bless those here and their service to their community. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. I don't see any, unless Mr. Ripps wants to talk, I don't see any community input. There is no consent agenda tonight. We do have item A, brief by the facility and events manager, and discussion of possible action by the board about monthly reports related to usage, rentals, tenants, and daily operations and event centers. Any changes or actions needed there too, and status of any repairs.
As far as right now, we haven't had any events since August, but we do have 3 in September and 2 in December. So little by little, we're starting to pick back up. We had a couple of meetings here. We actually have another one tomorrow. So people are finding out that we are opening it back up. Right now, we're at 75%. So we're letting people know that we are still able to have events here as long as we follow the CDC guidelines. Daily operations have been the same. We do have our contractor and Jerry back and forth from here to the sports complex, just working on the floors, working on little details that we can to keep this place ready to go when we come back full. I know we're having a couple of AC issues right now. I did give some invoices to Ms. Turner so we can get that all back up and squared away. It's just a little pricey. We do have some units have some major issues that we need to take care of to make sure it's going to do what it needs to do up there.
Yeah, I think the prices came in, the highest was like $18,000.
Yeah, I think altogether it's like $18,000 to do 4 different units that need some major repairs.
Yes. The city's planning on doing an event for Councilman Gerard Jimenez. We did a proclamation November the 8th, which is a Sunday. It'll be on the patio, or we'll be in the patio in the kitchen.
Yes.
I think I need to put some stuff in the kitchen on Friday.
Yes.
Chicken. They're going to be giving out free 500 meals, what they're planning on doing. And the police are coming to help us to cook. But our goal is to, now that we're in our new fiscal year, to start moving forward. And so that's why I look at that, so we can go ahead and get that going for AC. And we have looked at doing some painting and some other things that we're going to sit down and see what we can do budget-wise so that we get it going. So when it does open up, we'll be able to start renting again. But you have some weddings in Quinceañeras coming up, right?
Yes, we have a couple weddings in the Quinceañera in November, and in December we have 2 weddings.
So it's picking back up slowly but surely. And everybody's at 75% occupancy. As you know, the governor allowed us to open up bars, and the county went along and did not ask for that waiver. So our bars are opening, and so people are coming out, and we're hoping to have more events. We will be reaching out to those who have their normal events that they normally have during the year. There's one gentleman who always has a New Year's Eve party. We're going to be prodding people, asking people, do you want to save these dates going forward?
And like I just met with the Stock Show Rodeo, they're planning to do their event. We're at 75%, so they're getting prepared CDC-wise, what they need, how many guests they should be attending, how many guests should be here. We don't know if things are going to change for the better or for the worse right now too, so they're just planning. But they're going to have their event no matter what, they said.
Now, we have some events coming up this weekend, correct? The baseball?
Yes.
And the-
Yes, so sports-wise, we've been really busy with sports-wise. We did have somebody come down and host in our gym a basketball tournament and then a couple adult softball tournaments down there. And then, of course, Debbie's keeping it busy with her program still as well. So we still got gym rentals, the baseball field rentals, and then this weekend we'll have a 5K run in the back, plus the Wildcats' third home game here. So the place is getting utilized, I mean, like it's supposed to. You're going to see it this weekend. It's going to be baseball, football, and a 5K going on at the same time. So it's getting busy. It's getting a lot, and it's getting used like it's supposed to. So it's a good thing. It's just getting everybody organized to stay in their areas, and just the detailed parts of what I got to do to help them. But
I would like to comment. I was at a restaurant a couple of Sundays ago. A young man came in baseball uniform with his parents and his sister. And I guessed that they were playing out here, and I asked him, I said, well, went up to him and I said, are you playing out at our event center? And he said, yes. And I said, where are you from? And he said, we're from Eagle Pass. And they spent the night here. We're probably going to spend the night that night to go back. Or they had spent Friday night, Saturday night, and we're going to go back later on that afternoon, Sunday afternoon. And I asked him how the fields were. He said, best fields we've played on all year.
that's awesome.
They're really good. And so I was pleased. And I asked him how they treated them and if they got everything they needed. He said, yes, sir, everything's been great. And his parents were agreeing with him when he said that. So I was very pleased, and I told him that I had a connection with him. That's the reason I was asking. But I was very proud to hear that.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Keith Hamilton, he does a good job of keeping us busy. If it's not, he has a Sunday league going on right now that he has about 35 teams playing from here to Jordanton. And then he throws weekend tournaments on off weekends that they're not here. So he keeps the place pretty busy, and they come from all over Texas. He did report to me a couple of weeks ago when he had a tournament. They booked 35 rooms at La Quinta, just at La Quinta. And they had Holiday Inn too. So, I mean, he's still bringing people to the city of Floresville to stay here and utilize our facility.
That impressed me that family drove all the way from Eagle Pass to here to play baseball. And I assume the rest of his team did too.
Yeah.
And they probably all had hotel rooms.
So the next step, we're bringing people from all over Texas. Let's find a way to utilize the building during those tournaments.
I think that would be an excellent thing to do. There's not a reason in the world why we couldn't have events going on here that complemented that.
Right. Or vice versa.
Those people have, they have time between games.
Yes.
And I would think that there would be something we could look at to have going on up here, that they could at least see the event center.
Well, we have, I know we have a couple of people that are still interested in doing some market days, especially because it's slow right now for us in here. We can bring them in and do like a market day on those weekends where they can be out here during that time and let people know back there that they can come up here and have those market days out in the patio or even inside.
Yeah.
Utilize the building and help us that way.
An excellent thing to do, because the more we utilize the entire facility, the better off we're going to be. And I would like to encourage us to do that, because it's going to take a while to recuperate from all the hassle we've been through. The more people we can get used to coming in here again.
And that's another thing. It was kind of last minute, so I didn't want to bring it up, and our new budget was coming in. They did open up all the expo shows again. That's another thing that we can start doing again too, is start putting our name in there that we are open. We do have the space to at a 75% capacity here, we can hold 900 people. So, I mean, that's a lot more than in a lot of venues around San Antonio and in the outskirts. So we do have the space still that you can still follow the CDC guidelines.
You know, I realize we have to be very careful, safety conscious about it, but there are things that we can do right here in this building that other places just can't do.
Yeah.
I bet there's not a facility anywhere in this area where you've got athletic fields with an access to a building such as this that would be available to do things like that. You might talk to Mr. Hamilton and see if he can think of something that we can have going on.
Yes, definitely. I know he's willing to work with the city too, so. And I think mostly everybody was here for the football, the first opening day, right, football? That turned out really great. They loved the field, so their plan was to play their homecoming at the high school stadium, but they don't want to go anywhere. They said they love the field so much, they have everything they need here, so they're going to end up staying behind the center and doing everything.
See, I think a lot of people are so used to having to depend on the schools and things like that, they don't realize we can provide it here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, we had some conversations about Roper Arena. I mean, you know, people have been throwing it around, but the Roper Arena, and we played around with that for a while and looked at some things. So as this pandemic gets better, we're hoping that we can start looking at some things for the Roper Arena. So it's just kind of like the all athletic things.
And I want to talk to you about that.
And last year, we did talk, before the pandemic hit, we were talking to Wade McBee. He used to do the turn and burn out of Pleasanton. So he wants to work with the city to bring the turn and burn back, but name it something else and, you know, help us do like a fundraiser for us here so we can make some money for the event center as well. And he bring up the roping, having a roping contest, stuff like that. So, I mean, there's a lot of people willing to work with us to help it get it ready and make it happen.
So it sounds like the park is doing exactly what we intended it for to do. It's serving the needs of our community, and it's bringing people into our hotels, into our restaurants, people from all over Texas. Those were the exact business plans we talked about, I'm going to say probably 10, 15 years ago. So it's doing exactly what we talked about.
And the fact that we have all of this in one package
Yes.
is a tremendous advantage to us. And when I heard someone talking this morning about a place in Georgia and near Atlanta, and what they were talking about, the guy was saying the same thing we've been saying all along. They're close to Atlanta, but they're outside of Atlanta, and it's a fun journey to go down there, but it's not out of the way.
Right.
And we have the same advantage here.
Exactly.
That I think we need to really advertise and push, because people don't realize we have a very unique facility. How's the gym floor doing?
The gym floor is doing, it's good. It's holding up. I mean, there's no issues with it. I know we've had a couple leaks in the roof that we're getting looked at right now too, because
That's what I heard.
we had some hard rain come in and it dripped on the floor, but it was no major issues that did anything to the floor. We took care of it. So we're just trying to get everything up to where we won't have any leaks anywhere right now.
Any other discussion?
Just want to say that the next meeting that we're having in November, the council should be approving to go out to bid for the parking lot. EDC has agreed, I believe it's $255,000 toward that. We have that $100,000 for Sarah. We were supposed to do it this year, but the pandemic slowed everything down. I met with the engineer this morning, and like I said, once we get approval to go out to bid, we'll have prices and everything in January so that we can actually start doing that parking lot, if all goes well.
Jake, do you have anything? Karen?
Sounds good. I wanted to tell you guys congratulations on the ceremony at the beginning of the month. I didn't get to make it, but I'm glad it all went well.
Oh, you said the congressman?
No, for the field.
But basically,
Yeah.
The congressman's here too, so we were
Great.
And speaking of the uniqueness of it, we were able to drive into the event center, the 3 police cars and 2 of the trucks, to show them all. And the first thing the Congress said was, how'd you get them in here?
Yeah. You know, and that's something that other facilities don't have.
Yeah.
Is that big door back there. And
They
we
literally,
had people
they
ask us,
literally drove through. You were just, it was really unique. And so, yes, and then football, I think was impressive to be able to do that. And I cannot tell you, unlike, we had a rocky start with the Little League, but I do have to say that we've worked out all the kinks for Little League, and the football, Wildcats just love that field, and so we're happy. I think that was the vision the city had and EBC had some time ago, and it's so happy to see it come to fruition. And had the little kids have so much fun.
Yeah.
And they don't have to travel to El Paso to have that.
you know, at one time, we would have been asked about having a horse sale here because of that back door.
Yeah.
They could bring in and sort and things like that, have indoor, outdoor carpet here and sale. Stuff like that we need to look into, especially if we expand our arena back there.
Yes.
And this would be a perfect, ideal spot for something like that. Okay. Item B, discussion and possible action related to events sponsored by the 4A Corporation. I think we had put most everything on hold when we had the corona, and we're still in that. And it's kind of hard to just open up, but I think we need to start looking forward at least.
Yeah, I think we could plan something, but also put into the contract, if the pandemic returns, or some type of clause in there.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think y'all need to kind of start thinking about
Start thinking,
your
yep.
4th of July event, your extravaganza for next year.
What I've been working on sponsorship-wise, I'm working on a package to help us put a big sponsorship package together for the sports complex and the event center. I know I talked to the new GM at Richardson's. He's looking to want to come and put his name out here and sponsor and help community out. So I'm still working on it right now because I want to make sure it's perfect when I go out, because I want to do it 6 months to yearly contracts with these sponsors so they can keep coming back and keep coming back, where we can put their names on the football fields, the baseball fields, the gym, and then around the area here in the event center as well, where they help us with a year contract sponsorship and they come back every year. That's what my goal is right now for this year, to start for this next coming up year right now. I'm trying to finish that sponsorship package. So I want to work out a bronze, silver, and gold, and platinum sponsorship package where they can come in. And of course the small ones too for the other events. But I think that'll help us get ahead for when we do the 4th of July and we do the holiday extravaganzas and these other events that we have planned. So we can have that money sitting there when we need the entertainment and anything else.
You know, I did notice in the Wilson County News, the article, Greg, that y'all had about the sales tax. It seems like Wilson County was doing better than most other places as far as our sales tax income, revenue and stuff. We were actually making progress where others were significantly behind us.
Yeah, our sales tax, they're staying consistently about 6% over last year. I don't think we've gone down any months, have we, Henrietta? I don't think there's been any downturn in our sales tax.
So I think that's something that we'd be proud of, and I think maybe, like you suggested a minute ago, maybe our event center has helped with some of that.
I'm sorry?
Maybe our event center has helped with some of that.
Yes.
In fact, the hotel, motel,
Hotel,
tax and
motel,
stuff like that coming in.
Bill, one day, one of our meetings, we need to clarify the debt of the event center that keeps on lingering in politics, and the debt is, we're not losing $1 million per year like it's insinuating. I think that debt, correct me if I'm wrong, Henrietta, that's a debt that has accumulated from when the building first opened, and when the economy was down and we were not collecting enough sales tax.
Well, I think we definitely need to,
Yes, I think there was a time when we just recently had to refinance, I believe it was in 2017.
Yes.
It refinanced so that we could actually do that. So
and
we've
pay it
done,
off early.
right, so that was the one in the back that we were able to do, because there's two bonds for this facility here. One's for the building and one's for the land. And I think people get that confused. So we refinanced both of them so that we could be able to do that. But it is, you know, just like the tips or the turds that they have at Riverbend, it takes some time to get caught up and be able to do that. But I can have, if you like, when you're ready at your next meeting, I can have Victor Kroger to come and explain. That's our financial advisor, if you like, at your next meeting. But the event center is doing well. It's never made, it wasn't invented to make a moneymaker, but I think it's invented to help out the community and be able to provide the things that you talked about. The baseball field, the football field, and those other activities. I could not have paid enough for the congressman to come and present those vehicles. I wouldn't have had the funding to be able to do that. So
Well, I would like for us to have that clarified, because I think there's a lot of misinformation floating around. And people who want to, they really want factual information. I think that's what we need to give them. Whether it's good or bad, we need factual information.
That would be good, Bill.
So y'all want on the next meeting, November?
Yeah, if we could ask our finance director or our financial advisor.
yes, to come and explain the bond and the history just on this building here in the 4A's associated. I think that may be helpful.
Right.
I can arrange it. And sometimes if you can't make it, everybody's doing Zoom now, so we can Zoom him in, and then you can do, and we can have conversations back and forth. So it's not a one-way communication, so that's nice. So we can maybe do that. And if we do it after the 30th, we can do it at City Hall, and I have it already set up for Zoom there. I don't know if we got set up for Zoom. But I have set up for Zoom at City Hall. And so at your next meeting, we can host it at City Hall. We can have him Zoom in.
You know, talking about our 4th of July event, things like that, I have a feeling that when this COVID thing lessens and hopefully goes away, that people are gonna wanna come to things like that. I bet if you had something like that right now today,
Oh, yes.
you'd be full of people that want
Yeah,
to come.
definitely. And that's what like the 4th of July event for next year, we want to keep it like we planned for last year and call it Celebrate America, and then show the diversity that we have in bringing different entertainment and different cultures here, and just changing the whole dynamic of the 4th of July, of our celebration of the U.S. So that's what we'll keep it. We'll keep working it that way and get prepared for it. So we're ahead of time right now, so we can do a lot better and make sure we'll make it
We don't have a
profitable.
lot of other things cluttering our calendar.
Yes, sir.
Sally just said, no, we don't.
And right now, like baseball's already calling me because they're ready to start negotiating their contract for the fields back there. So everybody wants to be ahead of the game now. I mean, they know how busy it is. That's the reason why they see that these fields are being used. So they want to make sure they're getting their time in too. So, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. We can get ahead and make sure we take care of them too as well.
Carrie, you're on the fly. What are your thoughts?
Well, I wanted to ask you, when you mentioned about advertising earlier and utilizing the center, like while there's games and events going on, what about like advertising? Because you have the Facebook page, right, Chaz?
What's that?
The Facebook page for the center, like, do you pretty much advertise through there?
Yeah, I advertise for all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's something we can do. We can advertise through there. Like, I know I've seen advertisements from other cities where they advertise for their event center. So I was just wondering. Like,
Yeah, and
if
that's
we do
something
that too.
we're working on right now.
Yeah.
That's
If I
what
can
I'm
help in
trying-
any way, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on I've seen there's a Floresville Sports Complex Facebook page, but that's not ours. I'm not sure if somebody made it or Facebook just made it.
Did we make one?
David Drew was supposed to make us one. We're trying to make one where it's going to be connected to where I can have access and Miss Turner has access.
Okay,
I'm not
so
sure whether.
like baseball and football?
Yeah, so we'll make one specifically because right now I'm just using all the event centers page
Right.
for everything. So we're trying to make individual ones that they can go to and check in at and do all that good stuff on social media. But there is a sports complex page. I don't know who's, I think Facebook just made it because they saw people check in, and it's kind of weird. So I reported it, so they're supposed to take it off, and then we're waiting for our webmaster to make ours so we can post their games. Mr. Keith Hamilton, he tags every time he's down, but he's tagging the event center. So we would like him to tag like the sports complex so he can let his people know too that where they're coming from, like you've seen right now, and what's going on there. He can post his schedules on there as well and tag the sports complex because he books 6 months out, so people know what there's tournaments or what's going on over here at the sports complex and center.
Ken, let me ask this, where do kids sign up for baseball and football? Is there a central location that they do that?
It depends. Like Floresville Little League, you got to get with the Floresville Wildcats. So that's something we have to make too. Like the football fields, we can make a web page for that too and let them know, hey, when you do sign-ups, post your stuff on this page or tag us so we can know to let the community know where to sign up.
I was thinking about having a central location. If I'm a parent, it's really nice to go to one place and say, what does Floresville have to offer? Whether it's a community youth choir, whether it's scouting, whether it's whatever there is, a person could go there and someone could tell them how to sign up and get them registered for it. Because when you have to go all over town looking for where do I sign up for baseball? Where do I get soccer? How do I get involved in the youth program? They might know that because they come here because Debbie's here. But if we had one place where people could go to sign their kids up for these things and find out just a central clearinghouse for youth activities, I think that would be something that would be worthwhile for our community.
Well, I know Floresville Little League.
On newspaper or
Yeah.
and if we put articles on a weekly basis and let them know what's happening. And for example, sign up is going to be held at the event center, let's say, so and so on. We have a baseball tournament or whatever, this coming weekend. And let the people know what's going on, and I think we should draw people that will come. Because Floresville is a baseball town.
Yeah.
We used to have, how many, Danny? Two baseball teams?
At least two at one
Yeah.
time, and sometimes there was three.
So, and this is what I'm saying, but I think we need to put articles in the newspaper and to let the people know what's going on and to let them know about what we have here. Because a lot of people don't know. And they've seen it, but they don't know how many teams we have and the tournaments and so on and so on. And I think if we started doing that, we will have...
Yeah, we can talk to some county news, free write-ups.
If we could, I fully agree with you. And most people in town have no idea that we've got all those kids out here playing baseball Saturday and Sunday.
No.
And I mentioned that the other day to a group that I was with, and they had no idea. They thought, well, there was nothing happening. I said, oh, you're wrong there. We have a lot of things happening out there, but nobody knows about it. And Mr. Hamilton invites teams from out I think a lot of the older people my age and this, that, and the other would like to come to youth baseball games and things like that if they knew they were happening. And I think we need, the more we publicize that, the more we let people know about it, the better off we'll be.
Yeah, I can talk to Mr. Hamilton and see what he has. Cost-wise too, if he can help put that in there, because that would come out of our budget to be putting something like that in the paper weekly. But definitely social media, we'll start posting it more once we get that sports complex page and event center page and just link them together. I think the best thing that'll help out this whole area will be like our own webpage where people can go to. our own webpage, they can just go to Floresville Event Center and it says Sports Complex on there, and they can see everything happening from every calendar. I mean, that's something we don't have right now. We share with the city page, and it's pretty basic what we can do on there. So, I mean, having our own webpage out here would benefit a lot of that.
See, we know what's going on back there,
Yeah.
but people in town don't. And then, so they look at the center and say, it's dead, it doesn't happen there. Because you don't see all the cars, they're not out here, they're back there.
Go back there. And there's a lot of cars. I come during the weekend, just drive by to see how many. There's a lot of cars on the weekend.
Right. And so, and a lot of kids back there. I mean, a lot of people. So,
What's the entry to go in?
I believe for Keith Hamilton, for the select baseball, it's anywhere from $8 to $10 a person. And then,
See some quality young athletes play ball.
yeah, and it's, I mean, all 5 fields, because they do use that bottom field, the good one. They use all 5 fields, and yeah, you're seeing anywhere from 8 youth all the way to high school, 16 youth. So it's a baseball tournament all day that you can come in and out of. So you are getting good quality baseball to come out and enjoy.
I sure think we need to advertise that. Anything else? I believe that's the end of our agenda.
Well, I would say let's give Chez a directive to plan some dates. Do we want to wait till July to have our first event, or?
I think we can move, I think we can look at things. I think we need to put things, make dates for it, and as we progress and see that that's a possibility, and then we can start planning. If we have to have a special meeting or something like that in there in the meantime,
And I could bring the
until those
calendar.
things happen.
I could bring the calendar and see what we want to do, something in the spring or what we
I'd like
want
to
to
see
do.
us hold some dates open that we can do something.
And right now we do have some dates open. The only thing I say is let's do it fast because people are starting to book up for next year again. A lot of people are moving their dates that didn't happen this year to next year. I did still block out our regular scheduled events, but
I would say,
anything in
Chez,
between.
you block some dates at
Okay.
your discretion. I mean, if you think some dates are going to be workable,
Okay. Well, I know March this year, Peanut Festival is having their event at the end of the month. So it's going to cause an issue with Little League because they do the same weekend they do their opening day. And then the health fair for the hospital happens that same weekend too as well. So I'm not sure if they're going to have their event or if they're planning to, but you know, just stuff like that I can give you all heads up to say this is what's going on in March. We don't want to be trying to do anything at the same time as these events and stuff, but I can definitely block out some dates and then go from there.
Please do that. Anyone else have anything? Well, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn. Okay.
so move.
Motion by Tejada, second by Governor. All in favor?